Oh, thank you, my lady. Let me see if I can do the names without screwing up. I always screw up on the intro. JD Domino, disco. You see what I mean? Disco. I always call it disco. JD Domino. JD Domino. Yeah,
JD Domino.
yeah, I know. You know what? Let's just do this, Adam. Welcome to Backspin. Shazam. That's where we need that poof.
Boom.
Because of not modern technology don't work, the brain don't work, I'm not feeling good. And it's like mental
I
the
get
mind
that.
is
Yeah.
going. Hopefully you're gonna teach me a lot of things today. Because I'm
Okay.
fart. I go back to the old days, and you're a
hmm
modern guy with the DJing.
hmm
And catch me up. I'm hoping to get a tutorial on social retreats and a bunch of stuff, but let's start for you. When did it all begin? When did you get that bug? When did you want to be a DJ?
Of course, man. No, thank you. Thanks for having me on. And I really want to learn more about you too, because you have a lot of wisdom that I don't have. So I got started, I got started back in 2015. I graduated university and I needed something to do on the weekends. I'd always been like a music guy, making the playlists on the iPod, and I got an opportunity to work with a DJ company. And so I was an assistant, loading up gear, setting up gear, taking notes on what the DJ was playing, DJs, multiple DJs, and then here we are. I got trained, and 11 years later, I'm still in it.
You know what? Same story. It was the
Yeah.
best work I ever did when I joined a company called Sound Decision.
Mm.
I learned about doing checklists, how to create the party, how to organize the party, because that
hmm
was one thing I didn't know about when I started doing weddings. It
hmm
was like, oh, we got to do this. But they taught you from the start, and
Yeah.
then it polished the apple. And I
Right.
always tell people, join a group. If
Right.
you don't do it on your own. But the problem is, a lot of young guys now, like say going back to the radio, because my
hmm
background was with radio as a producer. A lot of guys want to be the star, so they'll start their own podcast and they won't earn their bones and they won't learn about the industry. They'll just
hmm
hop on. And that's what I see
Yeah.
with a lot some of these things with the DJs going on today.
That's a really important note. I mean, there's a lot of people, yeah, jumping into it, and maybe they have experience DJing like nightclubs or whatnot, and they're like, yeah, I could do a wedding. But then when they get out there and they start actually putting things into motion, they find out, okay, a wedding actually has a lot more to it. And without the right training and systems, it becomes really stressful for you. That shows on the client. And as you continue to level up, it's going to be harder and harder if you don't have a good backup. And that's why I actually created an academy, a certification just for wedding DJs because of this. I grew up with a wedding DJ company. I had the training, I had the systems, and I want to pass that on to other people mixed in with all my experience and whatnot. So that's why we created the Mixer Academy, MIXR Academy, which is specifically to certify wedding DJs and get them out there and not only having a fulfilling experience from their perspective as a DJ, as a wedding DJ, performer, but also giving the clients an amazing experience. That together creates something really magic. So,
Well,
yeah.
that's your it sounds easy, but that is a lot of stress because it's only one day
Yeah.
and you can't screw it up in a sense. And
Right.
I always felt great when they said, "Hey, you available after? We're gonna go meet at the hotel for after party." And I
Yeah.
said, "Well, okay, I did a good job," because they
Right.
still want to be bothered with you. But starting a wedding, do you
hmm
use checklists to go through like a guide for yourself to with the clients
Checklist.
and then with your own?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I have my, I'm actually refining my checklists this year. I was doing that right before this call because I have like my internal checklist. I've been doing this for so long, it's like things are intuitive. But before I walk out of the door, I literally have a checklist I go through on my phone, right? Before I like drive to the event because I have forgotten things before and it's not good. So, but other than that, like prepping music, all that stuff, like yeah, I have like a mental checklist, but I can't scale that You can't hire a team to come help you. You can't have a team go and do that. So I'm really systematizing everything. So that's a long answer to your question. Do you have a checklist? Yes, I have checklists, and yes, they're being refined constantly.
Yeah, well, you have to grow with everything. But the thing too
Right.
is, I ended up, it was funny. My buddy got married
Mm-hmm.
and I was invited to the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the bridal party took the limo and had a party. They spazzed out, didn't even show up. We make
Uh-huh.
the venue. Next thing you know, her side was Dominican. So they didn't have no one to speak English. My buddy goes, "Can you help me out?" I said, what do you need?" He goes, "I don't need you to DJ, but could you nobody has a clue." And then all of a sudden it was like brought the catering over, got brought this one over, and it was like, okay, this is what's going to happen. And I haven't done a wedding at that point like around 6 years. But like
Wow.
you
So
said, it's
this is
like
your first wedding in 6 years? This one you're
I was
talking about?
retired at that point.
Right, right.
I stopped doing it, but I was always playing around in the industry. But it
Yeah.
was funny where it all came. And I'm like,
Right.
look, we're gonna do this. We're gonna intro them. We're gonna do this. We're gonna have the first dance for. We're gonna go boom, boom, boom. I went down the list, and they're like, "I says it's easier. Let's get the formalities out of the way, and
Yeah.
it'll make your life easy when you're serving." And because I learned off of other managers,
Right.
like I used to always have, I would always go early, and then go talk to the waitress staff, whoever
Right.
was in charge, and I says, let's get together so we don't cross up because I want to make tonight smooth for you, smooth for me. How do
Mm-hmm.
you run it? I used to always ask them, let them, and then if I saw something, I says, I got a suggestion. This usually works better for me. And she'll turn around and say, oh yeah, that was a good idea. Let's do that.
Mm.
Let's
Right.
go with the money down the line instead of
Right.
skipping it. Because I says by the time I'm doing my thing, you could be clearing tables, you could be getting ready for the cake, and then we'll go right into the cake instead of rushing everything.
Right. Right.
But it comes along with experience, but I guess you never forget.
Mm-hmm.
One question I got though, the big thing is open format playlist.
Okay.
Now, I can't do a wedding on a playlist. I could take requests,
Yeah.
suggestions from the bride and groom.
Yeah.
What do you, because I see other DJs, they got to create their playlist so when they get there, to me, then you're just pushing buttons.
Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean there's definitely so back to the whole checklist thing, integrating the music into the checklist.
Right.
For me, when I think of checklist, I think of like 3 months out, here are the things I have to do. 6 months before the event, here's what I have to do. 1 week out, and then the morning of, and then when I'm setting up, like that's how my brain kind of thinks. But what I've always been using been using at least for the past like 3 years is this app called Vibo. I'm gonna get to the music point in a second here, but there's this app called Vibo. Have you heard of Vibo, DJ?
I think so, yeah. Or it could be another company similar where they set
Mhm.
up all bunch of different checklists from dealing with the bride and groom to music, venue.
Yeah, they're not really like checklists per se where you like check things off,
Nah,
but
but it
it's
just
like a timeline. It's like a timeline designed for DJs where you can like put the first dance song and all these other things. So back to that, there's a section in Vibo where guests can like put their music in, which is kind of like their playlist, right? Like their
right.
request list. And mm, I think myself and probably a lot of like established DJs when they take that request list and they ask, do you want me to follow this like to a T, like play all these songs, doesn't matter what order, just make it work? Or do you want me to like use this as inspiration? Usually I'm at that point where I'm just using their song list of 30 to 60 as inspiration. So like that 60 songs will guide the dance floor. It won't dictate exactly what's played, but it will help guide the vibe of the night. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, because
Uh,
I can't go in there and because I was listening to another DJ do his video, and they
Mm.
were talking about playlists, and he goes, "I hate requests during weddings because I already put the playlist together. Now I got to wedge
Oh, we're
this
talking about like
song."
live requests?
Yeah, and I'm like, isn't that part
Okay.
of being a DJ? You're not
Yeah,
in a club. Like I know a lot of club work and bars, they do
totally.
more of the playlists where it's all pre-recorded. You got your transitions, you got all the pretty stuff all done.
Yeah.
Me, I used to walk in when I used to do the bars. I didn't have a clue what I was playing, even up until I picked the first record and threw it on the turntable.
Right.
Sometimes I would walk around to the customers, help, give me a song to start this misery off.
Yeah,
But the thing is, I always looked at it as you got to be flexible. But today's
totally.
day, it seems like that's one art that's passed away. Like even with weddings, you don't know if
Well,
this song's going to work with that song when you play it
oh, I see what you're
with the
saying.
crowd.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
are you setting yourself by sticking to, I don't know if you do, but other
yeah.
DJs, it says, work with a straight playlist where they have music down the
Oh, yeah.
line, what they're playing? Are they
No.
putting themselves in a box they can't get out of if it ain't working?
Well, that's interesting. So there's, and this is one of the reasons why I built Mixer Academy as well. And I'll get to that. So basically, are like some DJs rigid and just kind of like sticking to this list, or are DJs now kind of playing to the room, right?
Right.
And what are the challenges there? So there are some days DJs that just play to a list, and that's like a huge pain point for a lot of people. But I think for the most part, DJs who are putting themselves out there, who are putting out a lot of content, who are going to networking events, who are following like the Nick Spinellis out there, they're definitely playing stuff on the fly. They're
Right.
definitely like, taking a list of songs and using that as inspiration to have some direction during their set, if
Like
that makes sense.
I'm gonna mess up the quote of Jazzy Jeff.
Okay.
If you want to play what you want to play, you're playing in the bedroom. If you want to
Yeah,
entertain, play to the crowd. You got to know how to read a
100%.
crowd. You got to know how to react to the crowd, and you
Totally.
can get a sense of what's grooving and what's not grooving.
And see what's cool, sorry, go ahead. I
Nah,
was gonna
go.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, what's cool about that is like you really have to, well, like a debate in my mind is like, and you know this, you have to experience that with a few crowds and see what songs, right? React to what crowds react to different songs, what songs get any crowd going, different songs for specific crowds, right? Like you know what I'm
Right.
talking about? Have you been there? So, and now in today's day and age, like if you take, I think the real like skill as a DJ is being able to adapt to any crowd. But there are certain songs like the top 100 wedding songs or top 100 dance songs that any DJ could play,
Right.
any schmuck could play, and they'll probably get a party going. Most for like basic crowds.
Right. Well, it's the standards because they know
Exactly.
Cool in the Gang celebration. Yay.
Exactly. Yeah, by Usher, right? Like
Hey. Like back in my day, Electric Slide. I don't know if you guys are still doing that.
sometimes, yeah.
Oh, I used to just love to break the record. I didn't want to hear
Oh
it.
gosh, you were done after a while, huh?
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
I always tell Kim, buddy of mine that was in with Instant Funk, and
Uh-huh.
he's good friends with Cool in the Gang, with Cool. And I says,
Yeah.
I don't want to ever work with Cool. And he goes, why? And I says, I'm gonna tell him I hate that song.
Oh no.
It's like a DJ, like same
Some
thing with Kim. They did I
yeah.
Got Your Mind Made Up, come on, you can get it.
Right, right, right.
And he can't stand it. He won't listen to it, but he
Yeah.
knows when he goes out to the concert, when they play, that's
Hmm.
the one song they end the night with, and it's like a 15-minute party. You
Yeah.
got to do it. You got
Right.
to play the songs that you can't stand because you play it like Heat Wave, Always and Forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's another one. But
Yeah,
now you guys have the TikTok list with all
right.
the songs off of the TikTok you gotta play and everything. And to me, now here's a personal one. Request. Do
Hmm.
you like requests? Be honest with you. Me, no. You're gonna take them.
I mean, it depends,
They think sometimes they know what they better than you.
right?
Like, and they want you to shoehorn certain songs that's not
Well,
going to fit.
so actually, on the question about requests, so requests like back, so when you stopped DJing, were you still on CDs or vinyl, or were you on Serato or some kind of digital platform?
I was never on digital
Okay,
until the last 5 years ago, where I just started collecting through a couple record pools. My
okay,
main thing was vinyl, but I also did CDs,
okay.
and I was getting out like 2000. But I got
Mhm.
out where it was the crossover, where a lot of guys were just starting with CDs,
Yeah,
and I still love the vinyl.
yeah,
I'm a production guy. We
right.
The radio station started going digital. I stood in the slicing room. I love to
So,
slice tape. I'm like
oof,
an old
oof.
dinosaur. Now
Mm,
now I'm used to doing digital. But it took me a long time to get away from an old, I was used to doing it one
yeah.
way. They used to joke with me. We're gonna get you when you go to CDs, we're gonna get you static pop
Mm.
CD. So you could play that so it make you feel like you're playing records still.
Right.
But
That's hilarious.
no, I even played cassettes when I was in the clubs. That's going way back.
Wow. Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Okay, so question back to the request. When you got requests back then, it was like I imagine it was a little harder to take the requests because you had to find a physical record. You had to like figure out what like maybe you don't know exactly what you have a more defined set, right? And to like take and physically look for that record while you're still maintaining like the current record that's playing, making sure it doesn't play out. Like there's a lot more work that goes into taking a request when you're on vinyl, right?
right.
In
Yeah.
digital, you just look it up.
You know what though? I used to keep my records though, because thing is, like when I was doing the bars, one bar
Yeah,
was poppy and classic rock, and the other bar was classic rock and heavy metal.
right.
And I would have some stuff for the girls,
Hmm.
but I
Always, you
would
gotta have it.
yeah. And I was the only DJ. And the one bar was I was a motorcycle gang was phasing out, but it was
Okay.
still like a little rough crowd going on in there. Once in a while, they would show up, and we had two nightclubs down the street from us, and we always had the girls come in.
Hmm.
And I got to a point where I used to play my stuff. I was a disco boy, but I
Hmm.
was playing metal and classic rock.
Huh.
And I used to say, I'm done. Your music sucks. It's time for a DJ request. And I slam in one of my songs. Or I used to, if it was something off, if it was a new wave type song, the bartenders liked them.
Hmm.
So I would make an excuse for the bartender to play it.
Hmm.
And like even like Rock Lobster, B-52s.
Right, right.
That sometimes was like if they knew it was connected to somebody, they
Right.
accepted it. So then all of a sudden I could turn the wheel. If they were grooving onto that, I could bring something back that's similar or
Mm.
off the wall that's not But no, these girls, they wanted Bon Jovi every night. They wanted, the same stuff
Yeah.
all the time. And I used to get done work. I go to the bartenders all the time, do a check. How was it tonight?
Mhm.
Did you play Request tonight? And I'm like, no. And he goes, we thought so. It was one of your best nights you ever had because I was in control.
Hmm.
I wasn't doing no playlist. Yeah, you had to work your ass off because you had to dig through the vinyl
Right.
and nah, I don't want this one. I want that one. There was times where, uh-oh, and all of a sudden it was like DJ Braveheart, instant request, yell, yell, and they knew. and they would
Yeah.
tell me something, and I'd grab it. I would make it into a part of the act,
Uh-huh.
like if I had dead air.
Of
But yeah,
course.
no, with you guys, yeah, at least you can look it up on the computer and program it. It's
Yeah,
there.
like I imagine requests back when there were vinyl and maybe even CDs. It might take 30 seconds to a minute just to like get the thing. Like if you really know where you're going and where to get the track, the record, it might take a minute to get that thing loaded up so you can listen to it, and then you have to spin it and get the right spot. Like that could take a minute and a minute and a half. I don't know. Like I've never done it. I've never done
Right,
it. But like a digital thing, in 15 seconds, I can have the song loaded up on the track on the record, previewed and queued right to where I need it to go in like
right.
15 seconds.
Yeah. No, I know. It's
That's
easier that way.
crazy. So that back to the idea of like the conversation about requests. It's just like now requests are so easy to filter, right? That's what I mean. It depends. I've gotten requests for songs I've never heard in my life, and I'm able to find it real quick, preview it in like 30 seconds, and be like, actually, this is a great song, and I'm able to play it. There's
Right.
other songs where I know it doesn't work, right? I can handle sometimes I'll get two or three requests in a row, and I might not know, this is really rare, but I might not know like two of them. And I can preview those two songs and the third song in like a minute, and there's still 2 minutes left on the record that's playing, and be able to make a decision. I mean, that's just like, that never happens because usually we know the songs and we can hear them in our head
Right.
and we can decide whether or not we want. But the point is like requests now are, in my opinion, I think the clients trust the DJ when it comes to requests,
Right.
and it's the DJs shouldn't be upset when they get a request, and I don't think generally they are. I think what gets upsetting is if there's a huge list of do not plays, or if there's like five people requesting something at the same time while you're in the middle of a mix and the dance floor is popping and they're requesting some slow song.
Right.
Like that's where it could get really frustrating. But otherwise, I think it's great. I think requests can really help a room.
Oh yeah, because sometimes you're jammed and you're like, I
Yeah.
could have thought of that. But I mean, I hate this one now. It's like, hey, can you play 2 minutes later? Hey, where's my song?
Yeah, that's
I'm
annoying.
still waiting.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you if you go to your car and your CDs are on the radio, you'll hear it quicker. Bye.
Oh,
No, that was in the
yeah.
bar. But I mean, when I was doing
Of
the
the bar, of
parties,
course.
here's at the I had to do a wedding. Didn't want to do the wedding. It was friends of the family.
Oh gosh, okay.
I'm like, thank God my mom and my stepfather was there. They were the only two dancing. That's how
Yeah.
dry this wedding was.
Wow.
Guy would keep coming up to me saying, "You got something old?" I'm like, "Yeah. What do you want? Sinatra? You want Motown? Yeah, something old. Would you
Yeah,
like
that's
the
funny.
time?" All I was playing that night was big bands and Motown and like Elvis and stuff.
Dude, sometimes, yeah, that's
And
definitely,
you hit it. It's like, yeah, play me something good. Don't know. And they're like, what do you mean you don't know? Because you're going to request something that's going to be garbage anyway, so I can't play something good because I got to play your song, you know.
yeah.
And
That
it's
those vague requests still happen. Someone's like, play something old or play something more upbeat. I'm playing like Flow Rida. I'm like, what do you mean? What's more upbeat than this? Can you
yeah,
specify? Okay, I'm playing Jackson 5. Play something old. Okay, what do you mean? Like I'm playing Jackson 5. That happens every now and then.
yeah.
You gotta
Or
specify, get them to clarify.
I see. This is the new way. Here, I want this song,
Oh
or they'll
yeah,
flash you the cell phone, and I'm like,
totally.
oh my god. But I wish they did that back then. We didn't have cell phones. I wish
Right.
they did because they would ask for a song.
Yeah, yeah.
You play the original,
Oh.
and this kid wouldn't know that's the original, and they come back and say, "No, I wanted the original. I didn't want that version." I'm like, "This is the original." You know what I mean? It's
That's
like,
yes, that's funny.
guys,
That's gonna start happening more too.
Yeah, because nobody can make any good music, so they got to redo all this stuff.
Yeah, you know. Steal
Well,
Like an Artist. Have you heard of that book, Steal Like an Artist?
like I just told my boy, I says your song is going to outlast Bad Bunny. I says
Uh-huh.
another 40 years, they're still going to know your song, Bad Bunny not. And he was arguing. I said, okay, 10 years. They're not.
Yeah,
I says we forgot who the Weekend is. And the Weekend a couple years
dude.
ago was like the biggest thing in sliced bread.
Dude.
But
Yeah.
if you look at music going back 30, 40 years ago,
Uh-huh.
it still stands today. Now, when you're
Hmm.
doing weddings, do you get, or any kind of party, corporate, whatever,
Sure.
what's the base year? Is it from the 80s or is it 2000s or
Mm.
new stuff that you're playing? What's the trend? I'm
Yeah.
always curious what's going on.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, when I'm doing weddings, there's kind of like two parts to the dance set. There's like the part for 70s, 80s music, and then it kind of evolves into like late 90s, 2000s, 2010s towards the end of the night. So, and then corporate, I'm working with people between the ages of I'm in a room with people between 30 and 60. It's kind of the similar to a wedding actually.
Right.
But the difference is at a wedding, you cater to the older crowds at first. So we're starting in usually the 70s is where we start, like disco funk, right? And then
Right.
we get up to 80s new wave and just 80s pop. Um, it's the same thing with corporate, except for corporate, we're kind of like weaving it in more, a little bit more. And it's a different, as they're two different, but very similar. Yeah,
The one thing I used to like was cocktail hour and dinner
yeah,
music. You can
uh-huh.
get away with the stuff that you can't get away with during dance time.
Totally, yes.
So you can make Uncle Uncle so and so
Yes,
happy because they heard their song, what
right,
they wanted,
right.
and it's like you got to know when to play them. But some guys they don't think about that.
Yeah.
I got two topics I wanted to hit with you because I'm
Let's
curious
do it.
before we go. Social. Now, I know there's a bunch of different layers in social.
Right.
You got the DJs, like I know you promote your
Uh-huh.
business, you promote yourself.
Right.
You got the other DJs that want to make money by saying, I'll play this song, I play that song, and this is what I get. And they get
Oh yeah.
millions of viewers, but they make it for the money. Then you got other
Mm.
people doing other things for money also, like the videos and different things, seminars. That's one thing
Mm.
I want to talk
Mm.
to you about because we never
Okay.
had seminars. Our seminar was at the bar after hours.
Right.
But no, I mean, with the social,
Eh.
there's like so many different things. How can you tell? Because I know like people now go for the clicks. How many clicks
Mm.
this guy have? Okay, if he has this many, then he has to be doing something good. Does it
Right.
make him really a good DJ though?
I think there's a lot of debate. There's some debate about this. I've met DJs who have 100,000 followers, a million followers,
Well,
2,000 followers, 500 followers. I've seen them perform, and there's no way, in my opinion, there's no way of actually knowing if they're good or not based on their Instagram. You have to listen to a mix, either a mix that they posted on Mixcloud or SoundCloud, or you have to hear them live. I I I like because I've heard some DJs. DJ Drew Pierce, he's amazing. I can't believe do you know DJ Drew Pierce?
no.
I can't believe I haven't heard of him, but he only has like a couple thousand followers. He does not have that many followers, but everyone in the DJ community knows of him. And I got to see him perform live at DJC, and he freaking crushed it. Like he was amazing. Like
Right.
my mind was blown. But then I've seen other DJs who have 100,000 followers, and I've seen them perform, and I was like, "What was that?" You know, maybe they had a bad day. I don't know. I don't know. But I think follower count has nothing to do with how you are as a DJ, like as an actual performing
Right.
artist. I think there's so much that goes into creating an experience for people, a long experience that's like almost spiritual. And as a DJ myself, it's and listening to a lot of my mixes, um, I and other DJs mixes, like there's a lot of mixes that are really good out there,
Right.
but there's only a few where I'm like, wow, that was like what just happened. I blinked my eyes, it's an hour later.
Yeah.
And what journey, I just went through so many different emotions, right? And I feel this love. Like it takes a lot of skill and character to build something like that. You know what I mean? Anyway, that was a very long answer
Ah,
going
that's
back.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's like Jazzy Jeff. He's still popular today because of,
Right.
like, I just saw him do the show in Vegas, I think it was, or in California, where they did all the new equipment, Nemo, or I'm on.
Oh yeah, yeah, something like that.
But he was doing his set on 45s. They
Huh.
had Now, is that something new where they have the new 45 players, or is that an old thing and he was just doing it for the.
Was he actually using
Yeah,
like
he was.
45s?
I do see other DJs use 45s, but the
Huh.
turntables were 45 players.
Okay, that I haven't seen. I haven't seen
Oh, okay, it
45
must be
specific
something
players.
new. Yeah,
I've seen like the, regular 12-inch platters with like 45s, but I don't even know, is there a 45 player that's like smaller?
that's what he was doing. Now, this is something you're glad you never had to do.
Uh-huh.
Felts that used to be on the regular turntables.
Right.
You put a 45 on there, you'd be like, because if the needle slipped into the felt,
Uh-huh.
it could, and then you didn't know what you were doing, you could snap the needle, no
Oh
matter if
yeah.
it's diamond or whatever. It happened to me one time during a wedding. Somebody
Oh no.
put a record on. Thank God I made a phone call, mom to the rescue, ran to the store because I didn't bring an extra needle with me.
Oh
But
no.
anyway, that was like the always bad thing about playing 45s.
Right.
I used to, at the bars, when I used to start playing 45s more, I'll take the felt off and just have the rubber because then it wouldn't
Huh.
bother the needle. But because with the felt, you could slide the record, you could hold it, you can do more things with it, where the record will slide over top of the turntable for you.
Uh-huh.
But that's you guys got it easy. Push buttons, hit the sync, and everything goes
Well,
together.
okay, there's a great DJ. Do you know who Jay Espinoza is?
Name's familiar, yeah.
He's an incredibly technical DJ who's done a lot with all the new technologies with STEM, like just everything. And recently he's been posting mixes of him on like doing quick mixes with vinyl
Right.
on Instagram. And they're freaking amazing. So I think vinyl is definitely coming back. I think like so DJs can really like flex, show their
Right.
skills on vinyl. And yeah, seen Jazzy Jeff do it, I think I mean, he's OG, right?
I don't know if you know Victor Simonelli. He is the king,
Mm-hmm.
one of the kings of New York house going back in
Okay.
the day. Quick funny story with him though. I only knew
Okay.
him as I worked with his cousin Karen. She
Uh-huh.
worked in the FM station and she used to say, "Yeah, you should get in touch with my cousin." She kept just saying, "Yeah, yeah, he makes music, he produces, he does this and that." And I was interested in getting to be a producer.
Of
Later
course.
on in years, I'm watching a documentary and I'm like, holy shit, that's Karen's cousin. I talked to him a couple times, but I didn't know
Right. He was the man.
he was one of the men. He was the
Yeah.
Godfather. And I'm actually going to try to track him down this time because we always miss each other, but he's back in New York. He
Yeah.
plays all over in Europe. And the thing I like
Right.
about him is, yeah, he does do the vinyl. I love a good blend.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the transition, sometimes, you do a little fancy stuff, fine, but don't
Mm-hmm.
overdo it. I love, you could tell a DJ with a good blend with turntables
Hmm.
because now you got to ride the pitch, you got to control the turntables. It's like making pottery, you got to be nice and
Yeah.
smooth with it. But a lot that's gone because now my buddy goes to me, I can't mix. I'm not coordinating. And he goes, oh, all you got to do is hit the
Sync
sync
button.
button.
Yeah.
He goes, you can DJ. I'm like, oh, thanks. But anyway, one thing I was curious is you went on a trip, you posted it so I could say something about it when
Sure,
you went
yeah.
to Mexico. I talked to someone else and I says, well, you guys have retreats? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, what do you
Yeah.
guys do during your little time off? What's it like a
Yeah.
seminar type thing? Because I even saw
Hmm.
Dave, I think Gordon from Philly.
Yeah.
He just posted something about he has like 6 or 7 of them that he's going to do.
Events. Yeah, so there's lots of events in the DJ world, and there seems to be more and more popping up in Pittsburgh and Midwest and up in the Northeast and just all over the place. There's these events happening, like DJC's been a big one. Wedding MBA, like there's all these events. Wedding MBA is more wedding industry specific.
Right.
This one that I just got back from in Mexico was a very small retreat. There were only 13 of us, and basically like the DJ industry is evolving. It's evolving, and there's just like all these events going on to for people to network and exchange ideas and up level. And so this retreat that we went on was basically the way that I looked at it was like a bunch of DJs who love the craft and the culture, and they're also very business minded. So like they
Right.
they want to improve as a DJ, they want to be in touch with the culture, and they want to be the best business person they can be in this industry. So and that's what I think a lot of these conferences are. It's just people who want to they want to be the best DJ, or they want to be the most ingrained in the culture, or they want to be the best business people. I think that last part is probably one of the hardest things for a lot of DJs.
That part
Um,
a lot of people don't think about
right.
the business end because like I even saw something where I posted it on the website. It was
Yeah.
like the do's and don'ts. And the one thing the guy said was, yeah, I could charge $2,500 for a wedding,
Uh-huh.
but am I getting paid to get the music ready? Am I getting paid to get the lighting ready? Am I getting gas money? Am I doing
Yeah.
paid for the 3, 4 hours that I had to spend with the bride and groom before the wedding,
Mhm.
including my 4 hours in and my hour? And it's
Yep.
like going back, this is bad. We used to charge $300, maybe tops
Dude,
500.
I heard, man. I've heard those days.
And God, I even did weddings for 200. But I mean, that's back in
Wow.
the 80s and 90s. But
Right.
today you're getting band fees, which is good.
Yeah.
Like the bands were getting paid 2,500 to 5,000
Right.
back then. Now the DJs are getting paid that much.
Totally.
And
Or
going
more.
back to
Some
it,
people.
but you guys got to do more of a show though. You
Mm.
got to have a photo booth. Some guys bring the floating dance floors. You got to have lighting. You have to
Yeah. Yeah.
a big show to go along with everything. Back in
Right.
our day, people went crazy. There was one jock that had a mobile mirror ball.
Uh-huh.
It was like one of the big stands, and it went over,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Woo, fancy lighting,"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or have a couple sweep lights. That's it. But we didn't have to have that like it is
Right.
today. Today, if I show up with just 2 turntables and a microphone just to say, they're like,
Yeah.
that's all I'm getting for that. They expect a
That's
lot
a
more.
$500 DJ, yeah.
Yeah, no matter if you're the best or not. But it's
Yeah.
like, but the thing is, like a lot of people, like equipment wise,
Right.
I found a guy.
Uh-huh.
You didn't have to buy the best. Like Newmark mixers were the top of the line back then. They were
Totally.
around $800.
Mhm.
I ended up at TSI, which were 150.
Mhm.
The output was double to triple the amount of a Newmark, the push and everything. And I bought a bunch of them instead.
Mhm.
And then like we had the speakers.
Mhm.
Tommy would go, "Hey, I got a pair of communities for you." I said, oh, how much are they? 300. People were buying Sarah Vegas, 800 a piece. And then they would hear the communities and they're like, I want to take mine back. This one guy,
Yeah,
he goes, I just bought mine the other day. Now I'm listening to these. They're
right.
just as good. If you don't have a guy, like I blew up two systems before I got the guy
Jeez.
because I didn't know what to buy.
Right.
Do you work exclusively with one company, or I know you have a lot of West Coast stuff,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
give a couple of hints where people can buy online or different things where they can, if they're just starting out, they don't
Right.
have to buy the top of the line.
I mean, if they're just starting out, and budget's important, there's Facebook Marketplace. There's Reverb where you can buy used gear,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So that's what I would suggest if they're just getting started out, just buy some used gear. Um, if they're just trying to throw something together, if they're starting out and they really want something clean and professional, then if they go to their local like audio store, they probably have can help them like consultative can help them find the right set for them. And there's companies too like Guitar Center and Sweetwater that will help gather everything that you need: speakers, lights, cables, right? And can give you a deal on a full package. So if they're just getting started out, and they just want to throw some stuff together, Facebook Marketplace, it's going to be your cheapest option. Your next best option is to consult with these big companies or a local shop to help
Right.
get you the right set for you to get started. And then for people who are already in it, I don't need to give any advice because
They
everyone
already
talks
know.
about gear. Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, the thing too is I learned you can out before you put the money in, you can actually rent
Yeah.
the equipment. Or
True.
like you said, go to Guitar Center, you can rent out a space for a half hour and
Hmm.
practice with the gear. So
Yeah.
you're familiar. Say if you don't have it, but you're going into a club and they only have rain, you can
Hmm.
work on with rain on the same model in a sense before
Right.
you end up spend all the money to do
Hmm.
it. Which I
Hmm.
says, oh, that's pretty, because that's how my guy was. He would go like,
Yeah.
"Here, here's this equipment. Take it into the club and see how you like it."
Right.
I says, "Okay." And yeah, it was. He knew what was going to happen. The next day, I was going to come back and say, "Thank you. There's your
Yeah.
money."